In the savannah arena, the relentless hunts never end. All animals are struggle to survival. How do you stay safe when the ultimate predators are breathing down your neck? African savanna. Late dry season. A herd of zebras stands near the water's edge. Around 30 individuals in their own social order. At full speed, a lioness can only sustain a sprint for 100 to 300 meters before body temperature exceeds the safe threshold. On the Serengeti, lions fail in 75 to 83% of hunts because prey do not stand still and wait. It takes considerable time to recover from the full force of a prey animal's kick. Not much, but this is one of the prey's most desperate efforts to live another day. Kruger National Park, South Africa. Cheetah, the savanna's champion sprinter. Built to race prey down across open ground. Peak recorded speed over 100 kilometers per hour, full acceleration in just 3 seconds. On the savanna, 60 to 70 kilometers per hour is enough to close on a zebra. A lean animal with a lightweight frame would rarely risk its chances against prey weighing nearly 300 kilograms. But when young males run in coalition, the calculation shifts. Though they spend much of their time avoiding lions, youth gives them boldness. Zebras travel in large herds. They are rarely alone. That is the first challenge. Isolate the unlucky one. The young, the old, the injured. The hunter's dark-marked eyes are always sharp. A small group is separated from the herd. 2 cheetahs want to move immediately, but their numbers are not yet enough to threaten large prey. One makes an attempt to change the odds. But the adult zebra understands the nature of inexperienced predators. This inadvertently opens an opportunity for the one remaining. It has spotted a young zebra. The one who seizes the moment is the one who succeeds. It is smarter than its coalition partner. Following its mother's teaching, the most important thing when hunting large prey is to bring it down. It does, but the bite is not enough. The bite is too shallow to finish. The zebra's kick is instinct. It escapes with ease. The cheetah cannot give further chase. Its energy has limits. The hunger continues, but it will be more careful in selecting prey next time. Cape buffalo, 900 to 1,000 kilograms. Living in large herds, moving across vast ranges in search of grass and water, no fixed territory. Buffalo society is layered by age and sex. The main herd consists of females, young and juvenile males. Larger males typically form separate bachelor groups or live alone. The solitary older males, Daga boys. Dried mud on their hides, the mark of a habit of wallowing to reduce heat and shed parasites. Buffalo are not passive prey. They are extremely volatile and, more dangerously, deeply unpredictable in their next move. With Daga boys, confrontations can result in severe injury. In more than 2 decades of monitoring at Kruger National Park, buffalo are the single leading cause of lion death attributed to prey. Not because buffalo seek out lions, because when attacked, they cannot run fast enough to escape and will not stand still long enough to be taken. Lions choose buffalo for size. A single animal can feed an entire pride for 2 days. But size is also the risk. Male lions are especially vulnerable. Broken canines, fractured ribs, internal trauma. Standard approach for large prey: come from behind, dig claws into the rump or hindquarters, use body weight to drag it down, avoid direct confrontation. With zebra and wildebeest, this works when executed correctly. With buffalo, it triggers a defensive system built precisely to counter both approaches lions typically use. Mode 1. Attack from the rear. When claws sink into the hindquarters, the buffalo fires a backward kick simultaneously with a 180-degree pivot. Rotator muscles in the cervical and lumbar spine carry exceptionally high mass and torque capacity among bovidae, a structure connected to both offensive behavior and defense. The kick dislodges the grip. Mode 2. Attack from the front or flank. The boss, the fused horn base, is a composite structure. The frontal bone is calcium reinforced, covered by a thick, compact keratin layer. Total weight reaching 20 kilograms in a mature male. Bone handles compression. Keratin absorbs shear and distributes impact. A lion's canine, bite force of 1,000 to 1,800 newtons, is sufficient to penetrate the skull of most prey species. It is not sufficient to penetrate an intact buffalo boss. Overall lion hunt success rate, 17 to 25%. buffalo accounting for a major share of the failures. The dagger boy presents a distinct variant of the same defense. The boss continues to thicken with age through slow but continuous mineralization. More significantly, no herd to flee with, no social pressure to yield. When lions approach, dagger boys typically countercharge before the approach is complete. The dagger boy is the most difficult prey subset to read. Not because of aggression, but because the timing of the countercharge follows no familiar pattern. Most lion casualties in buffalo hunts occur not in the initial approach, but in the finalization. When the pride believes it has the animal pinned and the danger has passed. When the individual fails, the herd does not retreat. The herd moves in, hindquarters facing outward, forming a kicking perimeter in multiple directions. The number of predators cannot overcome the defensive architecture of the herd. Buffalo have the size and biological structure for active defense. Wildebeest do not, nearly 4 times lighter. No boss shield, no herd kick perimeter. Yet wildebeest have a higher survival rate than many species of comparable size. The reason lies in something invisible: timing. The giraffe is the tallest living land mammal. 4.5 to 5.8 meters tall. 800 to 1,200 kilograms in weight. Not a creature of open grassland. Giraffes' preferred habitat is sparse woodland and acacia savanna, where body height provides access to foliage no other species can reach. An adult requires 30 to 75 kilograms of leaves and shoots per day. 16 to 20 hours moving slowly through woodland, neck extended, a 45-centimeter tongue curling around each acacia branch. Giraffes do not live in tight herds like zebras. They move in loose groups of a few to a few dozen. No fixed territory, no clear alpha. The strongest bond is between mother and calf. Each day, a giraffe must drink once or twice. And this is the one moment when their anatomy creates a point of vulnerability. Lion hunting attempts targeting adult giraffes succeed in fewer than 6% of all attempts. The majority of giraffes killed in wild records are calves under 6 months or subadults under 2 years. The stage at which leg length is not yet sufficient for the moment arm to generate defensive force above the critical threshold. Yet some young individuals display remarkable courage. Adult giraffes are not attacked in woodland, they are attacked at the water's edge. The only place where the drinking posture forces them out of a state of defensive readiness. The Nile crocodile. With a bite force of 16,000 newtons, the highest of any living reptile, exploits that vulnerability in a different way. Like every species on the savanna, giraffes will do whatever it takes to reach fresh growth. And today, they will cross this shallow river. With their impressive height, this is no great challenge. The mother senses movement below and reacts on instinct to protect her year-old calf. but the crocodile's bite is one step faster. The mother's only means of defense becomes the very thing that strikes down her own calf. For lions, this represents a significant prize, and as with any significant prize, it requires a strong enough coalition and the endurance to bring such prey down. To bring down a creature that stands firm and moves in long strides, lions need more than a single leap onto a back 2 meters above the ground. They must read their opponent, and fortune favors this pride today. Their target has a broken leg. 3 lionesses pursue the target with relentless patience. One strikes from behind. Its effort contributes to the giraffe's mounting exhaustion. With a broken leg, this giraffe cannot escape its fate. The kicks now count for little, as the legs must work harder at maintaining balance than at attack or defense. The pride will never allow it to rise again. That is how they bring down large, solitary prey, and they often succeed when the prey is alone. Because when they stand together, the collective strength of these giants cannot be taken lightly. Wildebeest undertake one of the largest migrations of any living mammal. Approximately 1.5 million individuals moving in an 800-kilometer circuit across the Serengeti Mara ecosystem each year, following rain and fresh grass, with no fixed territory and no permanent leader. Calves are born at the start of the wet season, when grass is most tender and nutrition is highest. They stand within minutes of birth and are running with the herd within hours. There is no other way to survive the migration. Stop means to be left behind, and to be left behind on the Serengeti savanna without a herd means something unmistakable. Wildebeest are more accessible prey for lions. 250 kilograms, no boss shield, no 2-meter moment arm. Wildebeest are not equipped to fight back with force, but with timing. Lions target wildebeest more frequently than any other large prey species on the Serengeti. Hunt success rates against adult wildebeest on open plains are lower than commonly assumed. River crossings are the most dangerous point. There they must contend with one of the most powerful biters in the animal kingdom, while remaining alert to those waiting to ambush them on the banks. This is why calves under 6 weeks are the priority target of lions in any wildebeest aggregation. River crossings are the one environment that completely neutralizes the wildebeest's primary defensive mechanism. This is why the herd rushes across rather than advancing step by step, to minimize exposure time in that unfavorable environment. Conversely, crocodiles are more effective at river crossings not because of superior hunting skill, but because they are operating in the one environment that neutralizes the prey's primary defense. Zebra, giraffe, buffalo, wildebeest, 4 species, 4 distinct biological solutions. All mammals, all with skeletal and muscular systems familiar to predators. The final species in this episode belongs to a different group entirely. The ostrich is the largest living bird on Earth. 2.5 meters tall, 130 to 150 kilograms in weight, distributed across the dry savannas and semi-deserts of Africa. Not woodland or tall grassland, but open terrain where long sightlines and movement speed are the priority. The ostrich reaches 70 kilometers per hour in short bursts and sustains 50 kilometers per hour over distance. Outpace most predators on a straight course. It cannot fly, and their loss is the origin of what was gained in its place. The male takes incubation duty at night, black plumage blending with the dark ground, relatively difficult to detect. The female incubates by day, brown feathers matched to the dry earth. Neither leaves the nest when a predator approaches at a measured distance. The ostrich does not stay because it has no choice. It stays because it has the means. On the savannah, large predators learn quickly which prey not to attempt. Adult cheetahs almost never attempt a full hunt against an adult ostrich. Leopards observe from a distance and calculate the risk-reward. Lions occasionally commit to an attack and occasionally fall. Within class aves, most species have 4 toes. The ostrich has 2. All contact area and force are concentrated into a single dominant point through a 10-centimeter toenail with a keratin structure of higher protein cross-linking density than most bird claws. Force concentrated into a smaller area means higher pressure per unit area. The same principle that makes a stiletto heel more damaging than a boot heel at equal weight. The ostrich does not kick backward, it kicks forward. This mechanism differs in its primary muscle group. While a hind kick is driven by the hamstrings and gluteal complex, the ostrich's forward kick is driven by antagonist muscles developed with particular strength in ratites because there is no flight musculature competing for resource allocation. Sequence: sidestep out of the predator's line of attack, pivot, then a forward kick tracking to the opponent's position. Kick force equivalent to 450 to 500 kilograms concentrated at the nail. Those powerful legs are also deployed in contests for mating rights. The stronger individual drives the rival back, even expelling intruders from its territory. The contest ends with the arrival of a much larger presence. But they do not know they have been observed by a lion. Exhausted from the fight, the loser is no longer alert. The lioness needs only to read the moment precisely. Plains zebra are the most common hoofed mammal on the East African savanna, with around 500,000 individuals moving through the Serengeti Mara ecosystem each year. Their herds are not random gatherings. A typical family unit consists of 1 stallion, 3 to 4 mares, and offspring from multiple seasons, held together stably for years, not separated even across migrations. The strongest individual does not set the direction. The lead mare is the one who guides. The stallion holds the rear at the outer edge. That is the position of threat assessment. By day, the herd grazes and moves slowly with grass and water. No fixed territory. The zebra's defensive architecture resides in the body of each individual and in the way they coordinate when a threat arrives. The lioness approaches by standard method, slow stalking through tall grass, pausing when prey looks toward her, continuing when prey lowers its head to graze. The objective: close the distance to under 40 meters before the charge. The closer, the shorter the time the prey has to react. The problem: an adult zebra sustains 50 to 65 kilometers per hour across several kilometers. A lion reaches peak velocity faster, but cannot hold it. When the hunter closes on the prey, the muscles do what they were built to do. The hindquarter muscle group, quadriceps, hamstrings, gluteal complex, carries a significantly higher proportion of type 2X muscle fibers than domesticated horses. Type 2X fibers are not durable, but generate maximum force in the shortest time. Sprinter fiber, not marathon runner fiber. When the kick fires, the superficial digital flexor tendon and gastrocnemius release their stored energy added to active muscle contraction in a spring mass mechanism. The result? 3,100 to 6,200 newtons at the hoof, equivalent to 450 to 900 kilograms of force. But it is not the force that makes this kick different. It is the reflex speed. When the lion's claws touch the skin at the rump, signals from type 1A receptors in the muscle spindle travel directly to the spinal cord, activating alpha motor neurons back to the hind limb muscles, bypassing the cortex entirely. Polysynaptic spinal reflex. The full cycle completes in 80 to 150 milliseconds. The brain receives the information after the kick has already occurred. One kick does not only end a hunt, it changes how that lion assesses this prey going forward. A pride with an injury history from zebra tends to approach from the flank rather than the rear and prioritizes subadults or foals over adults. That is collective experience, updated season by season. Zebras solve the problem through reflex speed and group coordination. But there is a species that meets the same threat with something entirely different: leverage and the mass of gravity. The young lion will remember this. Genes change across generations. Behavior changes within a season. A wound changes things immediately. Across millions of encounters like this one, through generations, decades, ecosystems, both sides continue to change. Predators learn new approaches. Prey select for individuals with faster reflexes. Neither side wins permanently. That is why lions are still here, and so are the zebras. In any ecosystem, each species must continually change simply to maintain its current position, because every other species in that ecosystem is also changing. Predator-prey co-evolution is the textbook example. Lions improve, prey improve. Prey improve. Lions must improve further. There is no stopping point. Prey defense forces herds to keep moving, prevents overgrazing, maintains the vegetation. Predator failure rates keep herd sizes within the range the environment can support. All must follow the laws of natural survival. It is not only prey species such as zebra or antelope that live a life of constant struggle. Even the large social predators, lions among them, face death with regularity and from the earliest stages of life. In this savage kingdom, the lioness works constantly to keep her heirs clear of danger. Nile crocodile. This is perhaps one of the few genuine fears of the lioness. A lion cub is nothing more than a light meal to a Nile crocodile, and when they bite, the cub's fate is sealed. But there are days when crossing the river is unavoidable. The lioness must ensure her cubs survive to grow healthy, and one day become the apex predators they were born to be. Across hundreds of locations throughout Africa, the battleground between lion and crocodile is well established. But measured against the vast territory of lions, there's no breathing room for crocodiles. And so, to expand the battlefield, welcome to the Okavango Delta. This is the flood season, and the moment the greatest water creatures rise. This meal will not be peaceful. The male lion knows what waits in the floodwaters. To challenge a male lion, the Nile crocodile must reach 3 to 4 meters in length. The delta is its territory. This is the moment the Nile crocodile has been waiting for. The male lion hesitates. The jaws of the opponent are extraordinary in their size. But faced with the prospect of losing its kill, it must act. The young king wants to drag the kill away, but the crocodile wants to hold what lies within its territory. A male lion possesses the strength to hesitate and pull back, but what unfolds if the one meeting the crocodile has no way out? Have you ever seen a queen in a tight spot against a sheer cliffside? With the crocodile-rich river right behind her. Keep your eyes peeled, for that fateful scene awaits us at the Mara River cliffs. But first, other gutsy contenders are stepping up. The entire pack moves as a unit. Today's mission is not only water, they must cross this river. A pack of 10 is a noisy pack. They have reached the stretch of river that must be crossed. The 2 boldest go first, but at that point, the river runs deep. The rest must find the shallowest crossing to avoid drowning. Success, but they are being followed. Nile crocodiles have a healthy habit, basking. After a long night in cold water, the body temperature of this ectotherm has dropped sharply. Solar radiation is here to warm the hunting machine. The predator is completely at ease. But the wild dog pack sees it as a threat, so they push the crocodile back to where they believe it belongs. The Nile crocodile is displeased, but under the harassment of the noisy, relentless pack, it returns to the water. The giant will watch the arrogant little soldiers closely. The leopard moves alone. In 95% of circumstances, this is its strength. The leopard is the only predator on the savanna capable of hauling prey, sometimes heavier than itself, 6 meters up an acacia tree. It exists at the boundary between day and night, occupying a space no other predator commands. A 38% success rate per hunt, the lowest among the large predators. But the leopard compensates with patience. It has been watching this waterhole since yesterday. Young wildebeest have chosen this as their drinking spot, the dense vegetation scattering their scent from the predator, or so they believe. For the wildebeest, nothing is better than a location offering both food and water until the leopard claims its lunch. This female leopard has survived her 7th dry season. The entire territory is, in most respects, hers. But drinking water remains a game of chance. The Nile crocodile does not welcome strangers in its water. But the leopard is not easily frightened. She prepared to face the creature that most animals fear. The Nile crocodile is the dominant predator of nearly every river in Africa. Its most powerful battleground lies where millions of creatures converge in search of life, the Great Migration. With a powerful chest set against lean hindquarters, wildebeest carry the weathered bearing of the savanna wanderer. The curved, sickle-shaped horns are the species' defining weapon, one that only fully mature males truly command. After a long and dusty journey, the vast herd has reached the fierce Mara River, its waters churned to a dark turbidity. Beneath the surface lies the domain of the Nile crocodile, the continent's most formidable silent killers. Reaching up to 6 meters in length and exceeding 1,000 kilograms, they are armored in iron hide and armed with rows of sharp teeth. At the bank, the lead individuals strain forward, watching, weighing the leap across the line between survival and death. The immense pressure from thousands massing behind drives an inexorable, reckless surge forward. When the tension reaches its breaking point, one individual commits and throws itself into the current. This act instantly shatters the suffocating stillness that had gripped the entire bank. What follows is a living torrent pouring into the river like an avalanche, generating frenzied chaos within the murky water. The entire space trembles with bellowing and white foam. A deadly vortex forms silently, signaling the intervention of those powerful jaws. One wildebeest is pulled beneath the cold river and quickly becomes the focus of the crocodile pack. The water turns red in one section of the river as the fortunate ones continue their frantic swim toward the far bank. Each migration season, an estimated 250,000 individuals perish from exhaustion or predation. Data from Oxford University in 2025 indicates the actual population now stands at approximately 600,000 individuals. This figure is substantially lower than the 1,300,000 previously estimated, raising significant concern about the future of the Great Migration. When the last figures disappear into the distance, the river returns to its cold, indifferent stillness. Beneath the surface, the Nile crocodiles descend to wait patiently for the next wave. Above, the dark shapes of vultures begin to circle, scanning the ground with razor-sharp vision. The great feast of carrion begins formally as these aerial cleaners land on the ground. Ahead of the survivors lies verdant grassland, but that too is the beginning of a new, brutal cycle of survival. There is no time to rest. Instinct drives them onward along the endless road. The great journey of the wildebeest has always been an epic of nature's most brutal verse. But those who remain on the land lead lives no less magnificent. On the chessboard of survival of the savannah, the Masai giraffe stands as a giant watchtower. But to claim that sovereignty, they must survive one of the most brutal births in the natural world. The future generation of giraffes is sown from brutal wars. Civil wars fought between 1.5-ton male giants, necking. The giraffe's skull accumulates calcium into rock-hard bone masses. The 2-meter-long neck transforms into a biological spiked mace. The centrifugal force from the neck swings, generates enough kinetic energy to cause internal trauma to the opponent. There is absolutely no mercy. Only the victor earns the right to continue the bloodline. But a grim reality awaits the future giraffe generation. After 15 months in the womb, they enter the world with a 2-meter drop. Life begins brutally, but that very fall is critical. It is the shock needed to jumpstart the lungs, but the very moment the calf gasps its first breath, the predators take notice. The scent of blood and amniotic fluid spreads through the air, acting as a deadly invitation to every assassin on the savannah. Nature does not tolerate weakness. The giraffe calf must stand and move within 30 minutes. The fragile skeletal system must immediately bear the burden of a 60-kilogram body on trembling legs. The heart must pump blood against gravity to the brain at a pressure twice that of a human just to maintain consciousness. If they are not quick, the young ones will never have the chance to tread the savanna grass again. Do not let Hollywood deceive you. Hyenas are not mere lurkers waiting for carrion left behind by other predators. In reality, 95% of their meals come from active hunting, with a staggering success rate of 74%. Typically, a hyena hunt is a long-distance endurance chase. A massive heart, constituting nearly 1% of their body weight, allows them to run continuously at 60 kilometers per hour. The prey's stamina is drained until it collapses completely, and jaws with a bite force of 1,100 pounds per square inch instantly extinguish the prey's life. But today's hunt will likely not require such exertion. The giraffe calf is still too weak, an easy meal for the ferocious hyena pack. A towering height of 5 meters grants the mother giraffe a commanding vantage point. She quickly detects the danger. Stomps carrying the kinetic energy of an 800-kilogram body can shatter hyena bones instantly. The meal is not as easy as the hyenas thought. They decide to retreat. There is no shame, for they are accustomed to the brutality of the savannah. Hyenas have had to fight for survival from the moment of birth. Siblings tear into each other to compete for the protein-rich mother's milk. About 25% of hyena cubs die from being killed or starved by their own siblings in the first weeks. The phenomenon of neonatal siblicide is nature's most ruthless rule of elimination. As for the giraffe, today is perhaps a lucky day. But the vast savannah still harbors many other risks. Lions are one of them. When the scorching heat of the summer noon paralyzes every sense, the royal family of the savannah commences the hunt. Unlike hyenas that rely on endurance, lions are masters of the art of ambush and explosive power. A muscular structure, accounting for a large proportion of the body, allows them to reach speeds of 80 kilometers per hour in just a few short seconds. But defense is only a temporary solution. Faced with the raw power of the savannah's apex predator, fleeing is the wisest decision. The defensive kicks of the prey begin to make the lions wary. The giraffe's rear leg musculature is designed like compressed springs, storing energy for explosive release. A single precise kick is sufficient for the mother and calf pair to make their escape. The lion pride, accustomed to the status of dominant rulers, is left shaken by this ferocious resistance. Their perfect hunting formation is shattered, their coordination dissolving against the prey's sheer will to survive. They pant heavily, casting a regretful gaze toward the 2 giraffes fading into the distance. A disastrous start to the hunt. If you were a giraffe facing a predator on the savannah, would you choose to fight a lion or a hyena? Leave your choice in the comment section below. But the cubs are still waiting for the lioness to bring home a meal. And fortunately, the greatest migration of the African savannah has appeared. On the survival stage of East Africa, the Great Migration resembles a massive military campaign. Over 1.5 million wildebeest assemble into an expeditionary force to cross the lands of death. They seek out greener pastures. Their survival tactic relies on the law of predator satiation. Sheer numbers will saturate the hunting capacity of the enemy. Hundreds of thousands of calves are born simultaneously within a 2 to 3 week window. This is how survival rates through the hunting storm are guaranteed. But for the lion pride, this congestion is nothing short of a lavish feast served on a platter. And the slow, straggling calves are the main course of that banquet. Like the giraffe, the wildebeest does not succumb easily. They are biological tanks weighing up to 250 kilograms. The alarm signal spreads through the herd swarm intelligence faster than any telecommunications network. Curved horns and solid muscle mass, forged over thousands of miles, are pointed straight at the enemy. The wildebeest calf has returned to the safety of the family circle. That marks the end of the lion's hunt. They dare not gamble with fate, for the risk of being trampled under thousands of hooves is all too real. The lion pride watches in helplessness, realizing their power has limits against the strength of unity. In this kingdom, a unified collective is an impregnable fortress. Unity has forced even the apex predators to bow their heads. Not far away, another fearsome predator of the savannah is facing a similar plight. The cheetah. This is the most perfect speed machine nature has ever designed, a living Ferrari running on flesh and blood. A spine flexible as a coiled spring, and non-retractable claws provide absolute traction. In just 3 seconds, it can accelerate to 112 kilometers per hour. That speed allows them to target agile prey like the impala. The cheetah activates burn mode. The heart rate skyrockets to 250 beats per minute. Oxygen is continuously pumped to the overloaded muscle mass, but the impala mother does not give up her offspring easily. An outcome beyond the predator's calculations. It watches in helplessness as the impala calf returns to the safety of the family circle. As for the cheetah, this injury is nothing short of a death sentence. Even if it survives, it will no longer possess the ability to hunt. Once again, maternal love has spoken. That invisible strength has become the most formidable weapon against the savannah's apex predators. Lion, cheetah, and spotted hyena. Which predator impressed you the most? Leave your comment below. But not every mother chooses the path of confrontation. Sometimes, stealth is the best option to protect fragile new lives. The young are ordered to dissolve into the dust, vanishing completely behind a camouflage curtain of dry grass and shadows. This is a tense battle, where absolute silence is the only shield against the keen olfactory senses of death. That is how the warthog protects its litter from the claws of the lion pride. The predators, having been defeated earlier by the giraffe, are now prowling for a new meal. Hunger does not drive them to recklessness. The hunt always begins with stalking and careful calculation. When the gap closes to less than 30 meters, the hunt truly explodes. Lions can hit speeds of 80 kilometers per hour in mere seconds, but warthogs are also resilient sprinters, capable of maintaining speeds near 50 kilometers per hour. The mother's tail stands erect like a signal flag, ensuring the tiny piglets do not get lost in the sea of tall grass. If they can just make it to the burrow, they will be safe. The warthog's den is actually the abandoned engineering of the aardvark. A tunnel system reaching 3 meters deep provides a temporary sanctuary. But the lion pride has not given up. Their muscle mass, constituting 60% of their body weight, begins to be put to work. However, The soil of these termite mounds after the rainy season is compacted like concrete. The meal has slipped away by a hair's breadth. Bad luck has not yet released its grip on the lion family in today's hunt. But not every prey animal possesses a ready-made burrow system like the warthog. Sometimes survival compels them to hide out in the middle of the open plains. Look closely. Do you see the gazelle fawn inside the grass? Nature has equipped the gazelle fawn with a perfect cloak of invisibility. Its tawny fur blends seamlessly into the dry grass, a phenomenon known as cryptic coloration. The scent glands in its hooves remain inactive for the first few weeks of life. It is virtually invisible to the keen olfactory senses of predators. Its heart rate automatically drops to the bare minimum, reducing noise and heat signature, transforming it into a lifeless stone amidst the grasslands. Movement is the ultimate taboo in this moment. For not far away, a cheetah is scanning every clump of grass. The planet's fastest predator relies heavily on vision. Its eyes are specially structured with a horizontal visual streak, capable of detecting the slightest movement from 5 kilometers away. The gazelle fawn has absolutely no control over its fate. It can only pray the cheetah will overlook its hiding spot. But on the thin line between life and death, maternal love speaks up. The mother gazelle appears to stage a rescue. This is the tactic of distraction behavior. The mother gazelle knows that the cheetah's predatory instinct is triggered by movement. By moving swiftly and conspicuously, she transforms herself into a more attractive target, a juicier meal than the invisible entity hidden in the grass. She is gambling her own life to buy safety for her calf. Outrunning a predator capable of speeds exceeding 100 kilometers per hour is a dangerous gamble. But the mother gazelle possesses her own arsenal. After a high-speed pursuit, the cheetah halts, panting heavily, overheated and exhausted. As for the gazelle, she has outrun the lightning of the savannah, though it was no easy feat. A victory born from the perfect union of sacred maternal love and the calculated wisdom of evolution. Returning to the lion pride. Gnawing hunger and wounded pride after failed hunts have driven them to recklessness. They set their sights on the African elephant. Adults are impregnable mobile fortresses weighing up to 6 tons. But the smaller calves, they can be the ideal targets. Lions are acutely aware of the weaknesses of these savanna giants. Their maneuverability is sluggish, and their vision is restricted in low-light conditions. This is where the predators exploit the advantage of numbers. They attack in waves, relentlessly draining the stamina of both the mother and the calf. The lion pride has finally emerged victorious, a victory written in patience and absolute ruthlessness. But little do they know the price of this victory is far too high. Which species' maternal instinct and protective defense impressed you the most? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. While the hunters are engrossed in the battlefield, the lion cubs back home are left more vulnerable than ever. A herd of Cape buffalo has encroached upon the territory of the king of the grasslands. Detecting the scent of the enemy, but finding the warrior defenders absent, the herd decides to launch a preemptive strike. A brutal campaign of cleansing. But through the lens of survival, it is a calculation of cold logic. Killing a lion cub today is synonymous with saving hundreds of buffalo calves in the future. This is how the Cape buffalo balances the scales of power, eliminating the threat in its infancy. They seek to ensure that the enemy's dynasty will have no successor. When the lionesses return, they are greeted only by a deathly silence and devastation. Explosive rage erupts as the pride discovers the tragedy, transforming the grief of loss into a frenzied thirst for vengeance. The kings and queens let out an earth-shaking roar, declaring war on the retreating armored legion. But rage is the enemy of reason. In warfare, the one governed by emotion is the one destined for defeat. The phalanx formation is the Cape buffalo's most impenetrable line of defense. The once proud lions must now tuck their tails, scrambling up trees or hiding in the bush in utter humiliation. Today, the hunter has become the prey, chased across the very territory they once claimed as their own. The revenge has failed, and the scars on the lion's body will be a permanent reminder of the limits of power. In this savage kingdom, no god is immortal, and even those at the top of the food chain can be dethroned. To maintain a legion capable of challenging the kings, the reproduction of the Cape buffalo is not a matter of chance, but a military strategy. They do not give birth sporadically. They orchestrate the arrival of the next generation simultaneously, creating a massive demographic wave. The timing of mating is calculated with precision to coincide with the end of the rainy season, when nutritional resources are at their peak. The gestation period lasts 11.5 months, one of the longest among herbivores, ensuring the embryo reaches full development. When the first rains fall upon the parched savanna, the buffalo empire welcomes its new recruits. Thousands of calves are born at once, transforming the grasslands into a giant nursery, disrupting the predator's ability to focus. Creation has equipped these tiny warriors with extraordinary survival capabilities from the very first minute. Just 10 minutes after leaving the womb, the calf can stand. 30 minutes later, they are ready to march with the legion. This is not a choice. It is a command. Stand up or die. For the legion never waits for the weak. Buffalo milk contains extremely high levels of fat and protein, fueling rapid muscle growth. The calf's position in the formation is always at the center, encased within multi-layered protective circles. If a calf is threatened, the distress signal triggers a defensive response from the entire clan, regardless of bloodline. Every adult buffalo becomes a bodyguard, ready to fight to the death to protect the future bloodline of the empire. The tight bond between herd members is the ultimate weapon that has allowed the Cape buffalo to survive through millions of years of evolution. They understand that numbers are strength, and every child born today is a spear pointed at the enemy tomorrow. The Black Death Legion continues to grow stronger, preparing for the endless wars of the wildlands. Cape buffalo and lion. Who do you think is the most terrifying ruler of the wild savanna? Leave a comment below and let's see how many people agree with you. In the brutal arena of the savanna, motherhood is a tender vocation, but also a fierce military campaign. Amidst this deadly landscape, pregnancy is a gamble, and rearing the young is a war waged against the entire world. Enemies arrive not only with sharp fangs and claws from the outside, but sometimes from within their own ranks, the elements and the treachery of nature itself. Every species has developed unique reproductive strategies. This is how they ensure the continuity of their bloodline. Here, maternal love is measured by sacrifice, ruthlessness, and the capacity to kill, all to protect the next generation. On the sandbanks of the Lifeblood River, the reptilian queen performs her most sacred and terrifying ritual. The Nile crocodile, a killing machine that has existed since prehistoric times. They begin the war to protect their lineage, not with blood, but with temperature. The gender of the next generation is dictated by the heat of the sand. It is the sophisticated mechanism of temperature-dependent sex determination. If the nest temperature is between 31 and 34 degrees Celsius, male warriors will be born. And outside of this range, the eggs will hatch into female queens. During the 3 months of incubation, the mother crocodile transforms herself into a living fortress. She fasts completely to continuously guard the treasure buried beneath the sand. The chirping calls emitting from the earth are the first signal of the emergence of the new crocodile generation. And here, the most miraculous and paradoxical moment in nature takes place. Jaws with a bite force of 5,000 pounds per square inch, capable of crushing buffalo bone, become the gentlest cradle. The mother scoops up dozens of fragile hatchlings. Tactile sensors in her palate are so sensitive that they do not scratch the delicate skin of the newborns. Her mouth becomes the submarine transporting the hatchlings to the water, and also the first line of defense against brutal nature. The rivers of Central Africa are not a paradise. They are a grim battlefield where the mortality rate of hatchlings reaches 99% in the first year of life. Nile perch, storks, and even other adult male crocodiles are always lurking to commit acts of cannibalism. The mother must become a sleepless bodyguard, ready to tear apart anyone who dares to approach her brood hiding in the reeds. Beneath those same murky waters, hippos embark on an arduous reproductive journey. Mother hippos, giants weighing up to 1.5 tons, give birth directly in the water to escape the scorching heat and terrestrial predators. The birth of a hippo calf is a suffocating race for oxygen. The moment it is born, the calf must execute its first push to the surface to take a breath. A mere moment of delay, and its lungs will be flooded forever. That is the first challenge creation has bestowed upon them. But the real threat does not come from crocodiles or lions. It is their own kind that the mother and calf must fear. Dominant bulls are often extremely aggressive, viewing calves that are not their own as an eyesore to be eliminated. Infanticide is a constantly haunting ghost, forcing the mother to isolate herself from the pod to protect her child. And that is when the power of maternal love reigns supreme. Driven by protective instinct, the mother hippo transforms into a frenzied tank. She is ready to wield 50-centimeter tusks to attack anyone, even males twice her size. Conversely, when danger passes, she reveals her gentle nature. Mother's milk is pumped directly underwater, rich in nutrients, to turn the 50-kilogram infant into a massive monster in the shortest time possible. When moving on land, the calf always walks close to its mother's flank, shielded by a wall of flesh and fat tens of centimeters thick. In the world of the hippo, motherly love is rage. It is violence employed to establish an absolute safety zone. There is no negotiation, only a line between life and death, drawn by the fury of the river's greatest mother. However, the fury of the hippo is not yet the most terrifying. For in the dense thickets of the savannah, the black rhinoceros still lurks like a giant phantom. Unlike their white rhino brethren who live in herds, they are solitary assassins. Their life is a sequence of days spent in hiding, paranoid, and always in a state of combat readiness. A gestation period dragging on for 15 to 16 months is the time the mother prepares for the birth of a perfect replica. The black rhino calf is born with heightened alertness, inheriting the aggressive nature of the clan. A unique tactical trait distinguishes them from the white rhino. The calf always walks behind the mother. This allows the mother, with her keen hearing but poor vision, to act as the vanguard, clearing the path. The mother rhino is a living shield, absorbing all danger from the front. Thanks to this, her offspring are protected in the safe rear. This bond lasts up to 4 years, a record amount of time for the mother to teach the art of survival in the shadows. They teach the calf how to distinguish toxic plants, how to find underground water sources, and most importantly, how to attack before being attacked. Black rhinos are famous for their unprovoked rages, charging at termite mounds, trees, or even vehicles, all to ensure no threat is overlooked. But that aggression does not stem from malice, but originates from a cruel curse of creation: blindness. The vision of these armored tanks is so poor that everything beyond 30 meters is merely a blurry ghost. They cannot distinguish between a harmless bush and a stalking lion. Hesitation equals death, so they always proactively attack when sensing any anomaly. Super-sensitive smell and hearing signal danger to the black rhino, but the eyes cannot confirm it, forcing the body to activate combat mode immediately. For the black rhino, it is better to mistakenly kill a lifeless rock than to let a dangerous predator slip through the net. That unprovoked rage is, in reality, the desperate shield of a solitary warrior trying to protect life in the darkness. The danger of the black rhino is one of the primary reasons they earned their rank in the Big Five of wild Africa. This is the roster of the 5 most dangerous and difficult to hunt animals. It originated in the 19th and 20th centuries among Western big game hunters. The list includes African lion, the perfect ambusher, ready to charge the hunter even when gravely wounded. Leopard, the elusive ghost, intelligent, vindictive, and capable of dragging the enemy's corpse up a tree. African elephant, a massive fury, capable of crushing a hunter with a single strike of its trunk. Black rhinoceros, the blind tank, attacking anything that moves with uncontrollable aggression. Cape buffalo, the Black Death, the animal that has killed the most hunters, famous for its behavior of ambushing the stalker. Today, the name Big Five has shed the bloody coat of the past to become a symbol of tourism and conservation. But deep down, this title remains a reminder of supreme authority. These are the ones who never easily bow their heads to death. But the brutality of the reproductive war is not limited to any specific species. Small creatures like the meerkat are a prime example. Do not let their diminutive appearance deceive you. The society of these meerkats is one of the most brutal dictatorships on the savannah. Power is concentrated absolutely in the hands of a single female. The alpha queen, the matriarch. In this clan, motherhood is a privilege, not a basic right for every member. To ensure resources for her own offspring, the queen is willing to commit acts of chilling cruelty. She suppresses the reproductive capabilities of subordinate females using violence and stress-inducing pheromones. If a subordinate dares to get pregnant, the queen will exile the traitor from the burrow, pushing her into the deadly jaws of the desert. If those pups are born, the queen will ensure they do not survive to adulthood. On the other hand, other females are forced to nurse and protect the bloodline of the leader. The training of the young also bears a distinct military tone. Meerkats are the only species that actively teach their young how to kill. Adults bring back scorpions with their stingers bitten off, tossing them to the pups to practice combat skills. They create tiny warriors, knowing how to face venom and death from the moment they are weaned. Under the iron rule of the queen, the meerkat clan operates like a well-oiled machine, where the individual must sacrifice for the benefit of the leader. A Atop the thorny canopy of acacia trees, an aerial fortress is erected by a bird with strangely long legs, the secretary bird. They do not coddle their young like other weak avian species. They do not just feed them food, they feed them the skills of an assassin. The secretary bird's nest spans up to 2.5 meters wide. This is not a cradle, it is a training arena for the future destroyers of the ground. From the moment they hatch, the chicks are nourished with the fresh meat of venomous snakes and lizards. The mother provides not only sustenance, but also passes down the most terrifying biological weapon, the kick of death. Those slender long legs are, in reality, hydraulic pistons, capable of delivering a kick with a force 5 times their body weight. The strike is so fast, it takes only 15 milliseconds to make contact, 10 times faster than the blink of a human eye. The chicks practice this motion daily in the nest, stomping on insects and small reptiles. They must learn to pinpoint the skull of a venomous snake to deliver the killing blow before the snake can strike back. There is no room for error. A missed kick means being injected with deadly venom. When they leave the nest, they are not bewildered fledglings. They have become professional infantry, marching across the ground to hunt for death. Motherhood here is about armament, transforming her offspring into the rulers of reptilian fear. Amidst the chaos of the outside world, the Hornbill family chooses to construct a doomsday bunker for survival. Their reproductive strategy is voluntary imprisonment, an absolute sacrifice of freedom by the mother. Once a suitable tree hollow is found, the female climbs inside and begins to seal herself in using mud, feces, and mashed fruit. She constructs a fortified wall, leaving only a narrow slit just wide enough to pass her beak through. Inside that cramped, dark dungeon, the mother undergoes a total molt, becoming naked and completely flightless. They are wagering their lives and the lives of their chicks on the loyalty of a single individual, the male outside. The father becomes the sole provider, making hundreds of trips a day to feed the entire family through the tiny slot. If the male dies or abandons them, the family behind the wall will starve to death, transforming the nest into a collective tomb. This dependence is the greatest gamble of trust in the animal kingdom. Inside the darkness, the chicks grow up absolutely safe from snakes, monkeys, and hawks. When the young are large enough, the mother breaks down the wall, stepping out into the world with new plumage, completing the mission of a magnificent prisoner. In the moral realm of humans, the cuckoo is the most despicable villain. But in the wild, they are geniuses. The mother bird builds no nest, incubates no eggs. They spend their entire lives surveillance and decoding the cipher of the host species. Once the intelligence is gathered, they lay their eggs in another's nest with a mimicry capability so perfect it is terrifying. This is an evolutionary arms race, where the con artist is always one step ahead of the victim. The true crime begins when the cuckoo chick hatches, often days earlier than the host's offspring. Though blind, raw, and weak, the instinct of an assassin surges through its veins. Using a specially developed hollow in its back, it painstakingly heaves every single host egg out of the nest, sending them crashing to the ground to shatter. It executes a cold-blooded massacre of its foster siblings to monopolize the food supply from the foster parents. But the title for the most sophisticated and calculated reproductive strategy perhaps belongs to the ostrich. They do not incubate eggs singly. They create a massive communal nest, holding up to 60 eggs. The one holding the reins of power is the queen, the major hen, the primary consort of the dominant male. The major hen permits lower-ranking females, the minor hens, to lay their eggs in the same nest under her rule. At first glance, this seems like generous cooperation, but in reality, it is a ruthless meat shield strategy. The queen, with sharp instinct, will push her own eggs to the safest center of the nest. The eggs of other females are shoved to the outer periphery, acting as biological armor. If egg thieves like jackals or hyenas attack, they will consume the eggs at the edge first, the offspring of the weak. The sacrifice of the many is used to ensure the safety of the royal bloodline located in the center. When danger threatens the hatched chicks, the mother ostrich immediately executes the broken wing tactic. She runs clumsily, one wing dragging on the ground. The main goal is to draw the predator's attention, luring them far away from the brood. In this high-stakes game, intellect and cruel arrangement are utilized to maximize the chance of survival in the open lands full of death. The savannah welcomes its fragile newborns in many harsh ways. But that is merely the beginning. Countless young ones, shortly after birth, are immediately swept into the greatest migration on the planet. This is not a leisurely excursion to a promised land. It is the most brutal march in wild Africa. Over 2 million souls are forced into a 3,000-kilometer circle of death to outrun starvation. For the newly enlisted recruits, there is no concept of childhood or mercy. They are born mid-March, and their baptism is one of road dust, rushing currents, and enemy claws. The Mara River is not a source of cool refreshment, but a mass grave where death lies in wait beneath the silt. Only those possessing the most superior genetics earn the right to witness tomorrow's dawn. In the chaotic legion of the migration, the plain zebra are the vanguard knights. They lead the way using excellent geographic memory. Their social structure is not a faceless herd, but tight-knit family squads, headed by the stallion, who holds the power of life and death and provides absolute protection. zebra foals are born with legs nearly as long as their mothers. A biological design allowing them to race immediately. Within just 15 minutes of touching the ground, they must stand. Within 1 hour, they must reach a full gallop. But movement alone is not enough. Zebras need defensive methods to counter predators on the road. That is their magical black and white striped coat. That coat is a visual weapon known as motion dazzle. When the herd moves, thousands of stripes merge to form a massive optical illusion. Predators like lions suffer from visual disruption, unable to distinguish individual targets from the hallucinatory mass. But the most devastating threat to a zebra foal sometimes comes not from lions, but from its own kind. If the dominant stallion is defeated by a usurper, tragedy strikes the young ones. The victor will not hesitate to bite or trample to death the offspring of the old king. He wants to wipe out the enemy's bloodline and force the females back into the reproductive cycle to carry his genes. In this moment, the mother zebra faces a cruel choice. Fight a hopeless battle to protect her child, or submit to the new tyrant. On the migration route, the foal is always sandwiched within the formation. Mother leads. Father brings up the rear, ready to unleash a deadly rear kick. They are warriors, forged in the furnace of betrayal and speed. Under the pathfinding of the zebras, the mightiest army of the Great Migration marches confidently. The blue wildebeest, the main character, the most numerous infantry class in this great crusade. Their survival strategy is the swamping strategy, flooding the predator market with overwhelming numbers. 80% of the calves are born simultaneously within 2 to 3 weeks, creating a population explosion that shakes the steppe. No matter how actively lions and hyenas hunt, they cannot consume all of these 500,000 newborn souls. Wildebeest calves are among the most precocial creatures in the natural world. Their muscles are programmed to function immediately. They can run faster than a human just 7 minutes after birth. With no hiding places in the vast open plains, the only safety lies in sticking close to their mother's shadow. The nervous system of the young operates on a powerful imprinting mechanism in the first few hours. They will follow any large moving object in front of them. Sometimes they make fatal mistakes, confusing their mothers with tourist vehicles or even lions. On the journey across the Mara River, these children must face the gauntlet of death. Rushing currents, sheer cliffs, and waiting crocodile jaws turn the river into a meat grinder. Thousands of calves break their legs, drown, or are trampled by their own panicked kin. Their mothers, despite the pain, cannot stop. The rule of the army is move or die. The children who survive the river of blood do not do so by luck, but through endurance and an extraordinary will to survive. They are the fuel maintaining the flame of the migration, the necessary sacrifice for the wildebeest empire to exist. Amidst the massive torrent of blue wildebeest, the eland rise like towering giants. They are the largest antelope in Africa. A male eland can weigh up to 1 ton, possessing enough muscular power to toss a lioness into the air. The rearing strategy of these titans relies not on quantity, but on quality and collective guardianship. Instead of clinging to their mothers at all times, eland calves are gathered into crowded and tight-knit nurseries. This is a militarized model of upbringing, where the children are guarded by a few selected nannies. Separating the young allows mothers time to seek high-quality forage to produce milk. Eland milk is a superfood, containing fat and protein levels 3 times higher than cow's milk. This dense energy source helps eland calves grow at rocket speed, quickly reaching a safe size. In the nursery, the young learn to socialize and form alliances from an early age. Despite their immense size, eland remain targets for predators. However, attacking an eland fortress is no easy task. Adult elands form a defensive circle, horns pointing outward, shielding the future generation in the center. They are capable of jumping 2.5 meters from a standing start, a display of power that terrifies the enemy. The eland teaches the savanna a lesson. Size is an advantage, but disciplined organization is the key to invincibility. Meanwhile, the topy antelope are fanatics about genetic perfection. During the breeding season, the males transform the grasslands into a lek, a veritable Roman Colosseum. Each male claims a small patch of land, marking his territory with secretions and standing atop termite mounds to flaunt his power. They fight furiously, horns clashing loudly to seize the center of the arena, the most prime real estate. The females only choose to mate with the winning gladiators in the center, ensuring their offspring carry the blood of a champion. Topy calves are born as the crystallization of the most dominant genes: speed, stamina, and aggression. Unlike the wildebeest, the topy calf undergoes a short lying out phase before joining the race. Their dark reddish-brown fur blends perfectly with the clay and dry grass, transforming them into lifeless rocks. But once they rise, they are the F1 race cars of the antelope world, capable of maintaining high speeds over long distances. Far removed from the thundering hooves of the ungulates, within the dark crevices of the rocks, a cold-blooded mother is executing her mission. The Central African rock python, a reptile stretching up to 6 meters, is the embodiment of a nightmare for every living creature, humans included. But contrary to the general reptilian instinct of abandonment, the mother python is a guardian devoted to the extreme. After laying up to 100 eggs, the mother does not leave. She coils her massive body around the clutch, creating a living wall of flesh. This is a massive biological incubator. Despite being ectothermic, cold-blooded, the mother possesses the ability to self-generate heat by continuously shivering her muscles. This action burns a tremendous amount of energy, and the mother accepts complete fasting during the entire 3 months of incubation. Her body becomes gaunt, her skin wrinkled, but the predator's gaze remains razor-sharp, ready to launch a death strike. Any egg thief, from monitor lizards to wild dogs, daring to approach will be crushed within a 1,000-pound constriction. When the eggs hatch, 60-centimeter hatchlings emerge, carrying the full venom of cruelty and assassin instincts. The mother's protection ends here. The mother python has drained her strength to bring them to the threshold of life. These tiny assassins disperse, beginning their independent hunting careers from day one. They are time bombs planted in the ecosystem, destined to grow up and swallow whole both antelopes and crocodiles. High in the upper atmosphere, where the air is thin and vision commands a view of hundreds of miles, the martial eagle reigns like a solitary emperor. This is the largest eagle in Africa, with a wingspan wide enough to blot out the sun and sharp talons capable of crushing a monkey's skull. Their reproductive strategy is high investment, high risk, defying the law of quantity followed by prey species. This pair of sky overlords lays only a single egg every 2 years. Their nest is not a hastily woven basket, but a massive fortress perched atop the highest tree of the savannah. The eaglet is born like a crown prince, enjoying the finest resources from its parents. Throughout the first 3 months, the father assumes the role of provider, delivering fresh meat ranging from venomous snakes to small antelopes. The mother patiently tears off small pieces of meat, feeding her only child with the tenderness of a queen. But this pampering has a purpose. It is to train a perfect killing machine to succeed the aerial throne. The dependency period lasts nearly 1 year, a record time in the avian world. The child must learn to control massive wings and how to exploit thermals to soar without expending energy. Ultimately, the true winner of the Great Migration is neither the lion nor the antelope. It is the scavengers, the white-backed vulture. They do not participate in the race. They stand high above, observing and waiting for the failure of others. The white-backed vulture does not breed in the shadows. They construct aerial cities, colonies of nests atop acacia trees. Vulture chicks grow up amidst the scent of death, nourished by the rotting flesh of those who have fallen in the war for survival. Their stomach is a chemical reactor with extreme acidity, capable of digesting even anthrax bacteria and the plague. The vulture parents are diligent and ruthless sanitation workers. They soar hundreds of kilometers daily in search of carcasses. When an antelope falls, the signal spreads through the air, and the sky darkens with hundreds of black wings. The vulture chick must learn the most important lesson. That is patience and hierarchy at the banquet of blood. They must know to yield to larger species like the lappet-faced vulture to tear open the thick skin before rushing in for their share. Competition in the nest is equally fierce. The food source depends entirely on the death toll on the ground. If the savanna is peaceful, vultures will starve. That is why they pray for war, disease, and drought. The survival of the new vulture generation is proof of a dark truth. One's death is another's life. They are the final notes in the tragic symphony of the wild savanna. They clean the battlefield to prepare for a new cycle of life. While the weak seek safety in the chaotic herd, the apex assassins choose the solitary path. In the savage kingdom, solitude is not a sign of sorrow, but the pinnacle of survival strategy. They are phantoms, shadows gliding through the night, leaving no trace and needing no allies. Their existence is a pact with silence, where every mistake is paid for with their own lives. For these single mothers, raising offspring is a near impossible mission, acting as both hunter and protector. They have no pride to rely on. They have only razor-sharp instincts and weapons honed by millions of years of evolution. The leopard is the perfect embodiment of stealth and coiled muscular power. They are the most widely distributed of the big cats, yet remain the most elusive, the true phantoms of the jungle. A female leopard's life is forever altered when she carries the bloodline of the next generation. She seeks out deep rock crevices or the densest thorny thickets to transform into a hidden fortress. Born blind and helpless, the cubs are the savanna's most precious yet vulnerable treasures. For the first 10 days, the mother becomes a willing prisoner, rarely leaving the den so she can keep her tiny charges warm. But hunger is a cruel warden, forcing the queen of the night to leave her offspring defenseless to hunt. This is when death comes knocking. 50% of cubs never survive their first year. Their scent attracts mortal enemies, lions and hyenas, killers who strike not out of hunger but to eliminate the competition. To counter this, the mother adopts a strategy of constant movement, shifting dens every few days to erase their trail. As the cubs grow, she teaches them the most vital survival skill, the vertical retreat. Unique shoulder structure and rippling muscles allow the leopard to hoist prey 3 times its own weight up a vertical trunk. The tree becomes a private kingdom, an inviolable sanctuary against the lions and hyenas prowling below. The cubs learn to turn precarious boughs into a playground, and later the world's safest dining table. If the leopard relies on stealth, the honey badger survives on manic aggression and reckless disregard for life. Recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records as the most fearless creature on the planet, they are the true hooligans of the wild. The single mother honey badger possesses the mentality of a Viking warrior, better a glorious death than a life of shame. The cub is born in a makeshift burrow, blind, naked, and pathetically weak. But the blood coursing through its veins carries a superior venom-resistant genome, forged over millennia. From the moment they take their first steps, the first lesson is not flight, but confrontation. The mother teaches her cub to dig with terrifying speed, transforming the earth into a bunker in mere minutes. She drags back scorpions, toxic centipedes, and cobras as live combat drills for her child. The cub learns to crush the venomous snake's head before the toxin can be pumped into its bloodstream. If bitten, their body falls into a temporary coma to allow the immune system to neutralize the toxin, only to revive and finish eating the enemy's corpse. In the tall grasses and waterlogged marshlands, another phantom glides, not by brute force, but by precision. The serval is a masterpiece of genetic engineering, possessing the longest legs in the felid family relative to body size. But their ultimate weapon is their oversized ears, acting like two military radar dishes scanning every sound frequency. The mother serval is an architect of patience, raising her offspring in dense, concealed grass nests. Unlike the leopard hunting big game, the serval focuses on tiny but elusive targets, rodents. Their hunting success rate reaches 50%, double that of lions, thanks to the death from above technique. The young serval is trained by its mother in a firing range of tall grass, where vision becomes useless. They must learn to close their eyes and see with their hearing, pinpointing the rustle of a mouse dozens of meters away. When the target is locked, the serval executes a vertical leap up to 3 meters high, then plunges down like a missile. The forepaws slam into the ground to stun the prey, followed by a precise bite to the skull. The mother teaches her young. In this world, you don't need to be the biggest. You just need to be the fastest and the most precise. But the serval's life is also fraught with danger. They are predators, but also prey for eagles and leopards. The mother must remain on high alert, her ears rotating 180 degrees, constantly to listen for the beating wings of death from above. When the cubs are 6 months old, they possess permanent canines and the skills of a sniper. By this time, the mother drives them away, forcing them to seek new wetlands to continue the mission of the living radars. They are a testament to nature's finesse. A killing machine wrapped in an exterior of elegance and grace. In the gentle morning light, the swift steps of the African wild dog glide across the dry grasslands, silent yet full of determination. They move in packs, each individual holding a strategic position, eyes fixed on every movement in the savannah. As the largest wild canid in Africa, they are solitary in strength, but survive through flawless coordination among pack members. Their bond is so strong that if an individual is separated from the pack, it can experience extreme stress, even succumbing to broken heart syndrome. The lineage of the African wild dog dates back millions of years, diverging from a common ancestor with the Canis genus and evolving into a highly efficient predator. They are distinguished by powerful jaws and razor-sharp teeth specialized for a fully carnivorous diet. Unlike wolves or hyenas, they lack retractable claws, which gives them an advantage in maintaining high-speed endurance while chasing prey. Known for their striking coat patterns, each individual has a unique fur pattern like nature's own artwork, with no two dogs looking exactly alike. Within the ecosystem of Kruger National Park, the African wild dog population has dwindled to just around 400 individuals, a concerning figure. Habitat loss, human expansion, hunting, and diseases transmitted from domestic dogs have all contributed to an uncertain future for the species. African wild dogs live in stable packs, typically ranging from 2 to 27 individuals, with a well-defined hierarchy. Unlike most carnivores, males remain in the pack upon maturity, while females disperse. This system helps maintain genetic diversity and reduces the risk of inbreeding. With a hunting success rate of up to 80%, they surpass all other large predators in Africa. Meanwhile, herds of Cape buffalo continue moving across the vast grasslands, their massive bodies creating an unshakable presence in the savanna. With their powerful build, males can weigh up to 870 kilograms, making them one of Africa's largest herbivores and one of the most influential species in the ecosystem. The evolutionary history of Cape buffalo spans millions of years, sharing ancestry with the Asian water buffalo and other wild bovines. Unlike wild yaks or wild water buffalo, which gave rise to domesticated cattle, Cape buffalo has never been tamed. Their aggressive temperament, unpredictable nature, and strong resistance make them one of the most difficult wild animals to control. With a stocky frame and short yet muscular legs, Cape buffalo is shorter than some other large bovine species, but has a heavier and more powerful forebody. Their broad front hooves help support their massive head and shoulders, while their curved horns form an almost impenetrable defense against predators. Their heads are always held low, with the skull crest positioned below the spine, giving them a distinctive posture, always ready to charge at any threat. Herd structure plays a crucial role in their survival strategy. Large herds can consist of hundreds of individuals, offering protection against predators. Calves and weaker individuals remain at the center, while strong adults form an outer ring to counter potential threats. When pursued, the herd does not always flee. Instead, they may turn back and confront their attackers, making even top predators like the African lion cautious. Lions frequently hunt Cape buffalo, but even in groups, they require precise coordination to bring down an adult buffalo. In many cases, the herd retaliates, forcing lions into a vulnerable position and sometimes turning the hunters into the hunted. Across the vast open grassland with low mopane of Kruger National Park, herds of blue wildebeest move relentlessly, following the endless rhythm of nature. Each step they take sends tremors through the ground, their muscular bodies covered in a thin layer of dust under the blazing sun. Migration is the cornerstone of the blue wildebeest's survival strategy. They can travel up to 80 kilometers in just 5 days without drinking water, extracting moisture from grass and mopane stems. Their physiological system is designed to sustain endurance in arid conditions. With 62.6% of their energy efficiently converted into movement, their bodies operate at peak performance, minimizing heat loss. Their body temperature can rise to 38 degrees Celsius by midday, but their biological regulation allows them to keep moving without being affected by extreme heat. The life cycle of the blue wildebeest follows a fixed rhythm. They spend over half the day resting, 33% grazing, and 12% moving. When the sun reaches its peak, they seek shelter under scattered mopane trees, reducing water loss before continuing their journey at dawn or dusk. Herds communicate through gestures and deep vocalizations, forming a tightly knit social structure that enhances survival against lurking dangers. However, their journey is not always smooth. African lions, spotted hyenas, and cheetahs constantly watch, waiting for the slightest misstep to strike. When pursued, blue wildebeest do not scatter chaotically, but maintain a tight formation, creating a moving wall that makes it difficult for predators to single out a target. Weaker individuals and calves are protected at the center, while stronger adults hold the outer positions, shielding the herd from attacks. Further north in Kruger National Park, the Pafuri and Makuleka regions open up a different world, where riverine ecosystems create lush green forests interwoven with arid grasslands. This was once the settlement of the Makuleka tribe, a community that lived in harmony with nature for centuries. The surrounding rock formations still preserve ancient rock paintings, where prehistoric people depicted their lives through images of hunting and rituals. Throughout the 19th century, the Makuleke people developed a riverside agricultural system, relying on the flow of the Luvuvu River for farming and fishing. Today, it has become a protected natural reserve, managed by the local community itself. The climate of the far northern Sandveld is drier than other areas of Kruger. Annual rainfall averages around 200 millimeters, significantly lower than in the park's central regions. This aridity has given rise to highly adapted ecosystems, where flora and fauna have evolved to endure harsh conditions. During the rainy season, from October to March, riverine wetlands swell with water, attracting a multitude of animals seeking sustenance. But as the dry season stretches from April to September, the waters recede, leaving behind cracked earth and forcing wildlife to migrate toward deeper water sources. As the blood-red sun descends below the horizon, darkness swallows the savanna, yet the battle never ends. In this savage kingdom, mother is not a synonym for gentleness, but a title bestowed upon the greatest of warriors. Motherhood here is not woven from soothing lullabies, but forged in scorching fire, thorny dust, and the fangs of enemies. It is the ultimate sacrifice, where mothers willingly exchange their own existence to ensure a single fragile heartbeat continues to pulse. From the Titan forest elephant to the diminutive meerkat queen, all share a singular mission: to defy the extinction stalking them every second. They teach us that in this indifferent and cruel world, love is the most powerful act of rebellion against death itself. The survivors of today are not merely the result of luck, but a legacy purchased with the blood and resilience of those who came before. They are living proof that even in the deepest darkness, the flame of life burns more fiercely than ever. Standing before such primal and magnificent sacrifice, ask yourself one final question. When darkness encroaches and death comes knocking, how far would you go to protect your own bloodline? We have just traveled together through the most unfiltered moments of survival combat on the African savanna. Which animal in today's episode made you see the wild world differently? Was it the zebra with its powerful instinctive hind kick, or the heartbreaking counter of the unfortunate giraffe mother? Leave your experience in the comments. Your understanding is the greatest tribute to these wild animals. Your understanding is the greatest tribute to these wild animals. Don't forget to like and subscribe to join us on the next journey into the field, where we continue to decode the most mysterious survival codes. And if you want to explore more about other wild animals, continue with Win or Die full episode. Deadliest Battles for Survival or Lion Attack, the Mapogo Battle for Survival.